This podcast is presented by Kriva, a CBDA company that focuses on providing better health and wellness by using cannabidiolic acid to boost your body, enhance recovery, elevate energy, and increase calmness. The Kriva A team has a background in botanical therapeutics, research, and engineering, which makes their product reliable and natural. Whether you're an athlete or have aches and pains, Kriva is the product for you. No THC and naturally grown. Check them out at Kriva_CBDA on social. Wellness for people and the planet. Good afternoon, America. Welcome back to Is That Good? Sports Talk with a couple gingers. Today we have episode 18, and the clock is ticking, folks. We have 3 episodes left with the gingers. Vinny, say hello to the
3
folks.
left. Hello, everybody. Episode 17, you said?
18, buds.
18,
Come on.
Epi 18. Looking forward to getting into what we have to talk about today, although it's much later day. No football.
Oh, yeah, no football. So, yeah, we were talking. We're looking at shorter episodes for sure on the way in, but still have really good interviews. Let's just do, since we don't have football, let's do a quick recap, kind of our weekend. Kind of a busy weekend.
Very busy, more for you, but we had 3 games, league games this weekend. Went 2 and 1.
It was good. We needed to
Tough
get back
loss,
on.
though.
Tough loss, but we needed to get back on the win streak. So got Utica this weekend. And then the team went back. What was it? Saturday night. Saturday afternoon.
I went back Sunday night, but
Yeah. So I stayed in Boston with the fam and then hung out with, shout out Peyton Grainer, just unreal guy, goalie on our team, and he drove me around Boston. Had a good time. We saw the TB12 store, got some merch. What else did we do? Union Oyster House. We had oysters.
Union Oyster House?
Yeah, it's like it was like back in the Revolutionary time. Have you heard of it?
Really?
Yeah.
No, I've never been there.
Just slurp those down and then.
Yeah, I love oysters. Those are good.
Dude, so good. And then Sunday we went to Patriots Place in Foxborough.
Well, we also went. You went twice.
Yeah.
I ended up. We ended up going with a couple of the boys.
Yeah.
Which night? Which night was that?
Yeah. No, we went with Birdie's dad on Friday night, so that was
Pretty
good.
cool.
That was a good
Cool
dinner.
place. Yeah.
But anyways, we did Monday. We did Top Golf. We did a little shopping. Got a little fit. What'd you think of the fit?
Oh, the one that you wore to the game.
Yeah.
The beige pea coat.
Yeah,
Was it?
with the sweatshirt. I was looking like kind of NBA All-Star game.
It was good.
look.
I liked it.
It was drip. So that was good. And then met the boys up for hibachi, and then had the All-Star game yesterday. So it was fun. So we're here. It's Wednesday. I guess let's just jump right into it. Again, check out Top Form Sport. Great products. Again, they got the protein shaker, working on that. Great clothes. So let's jump in right away. Vin, so we don't have football.
No football today.
So Vin's going to just jump right in with NHL.
All right. So right now standings similar, but there's a couple changes. So the Panthers are leading the Atlantic Division, 75 points. Canes overtake the Penguins, I believe it was last week, in the Metropolitan, 74 points. Central Division is still the Avs at 76. And in the Pacific, the Flames just overtook the Golden Knights, I think. 66 points for them as well. So, and then for point leaders, we have actually Huberdeau was third, I think, last week. Now he's first, overpassing McDavid and Draisaitl in points. He has 72 right now.
Is that good?
Is that good? That's pretty good. Second, we have McDavid with 71. Third, Draisaitl with 70. Fourth, Johnny Gaudreau, 64. He must be on a hot
He's
streak.
buzzing, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if I can... And then fifth is Kadri with 63 points. I was going to say, I wonder if we could see, his last 5 games.
I think they show that, yeah? No? They do on NHL.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can look quick.
Recent games. So last 5 games.
Oh, yeah, there.
He's got
Jeez.
7 assists, 1 goal.
Still,
So
he's buzzing.
that's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I was watching a couple Flames games. They're, like, taking everyone by surprise. You know, I think out of that Pacific, everyone was like, Edmonton with their power and their talent. Even Vancouver has just had a really bad season. The Jets. The Jets are the Central. But, yeah, cool to see them. You know, a lot of kind of that core group stay together. Yeah. What else you got? Is that it?
Yeah, that's it for NHL right now.
Yeah. Well, since we're on hockey, I think I gotta mention. It's not even really like a flex, but in our game on Friday, it's more of the pod flex. Yeah. So we're in the game, and yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And we're up. It's 1-1. Got the puck off the wall from Mikey to DiPietro. I always say DiPietria. Even though me and him sometimes have some back and forth banter, but good play, shot it, scored, whatever, big goal. So after the game, I did a little interview for the Dan K Show, he mentioned the podcast
on your goal call.
No, on the interview.
Well, both.
Yeah. So I was gonna tell that after. So
okay.
So yeah, I did the interview, and he meant like. Talk about the game, whatever, and then he mentioned the pod, and he's like, where can you follow it? I've listened, it's good. But meanwhile, like, I didn't know during the game, bro, he was giving like shout outs to the pod the whole game. Like apparently my grandpa said he gave like a 7-minute segment talking about the pod, like just like me and you. Yeah,
I want to see that.
Yeah. So anyways, so I score, and
did he mention me in it or no?
I don't know if he knows you're on it, but we got to get you in there.
Guy.
But anyways, he mentions me, and he goes, or when I score, he goes, "Is that good?"
Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh, I was crying laughing, and I was literally like, "We made it!" Like the pod made it. No, I'm kidding, but no, it was cool. Oh, I'm getting a call here. Sorry. It was cool to see the pod get some recognition. It's from outside sources, and he's got a pod of his own. But anyways, I guess shout out Dan K Show. But yeah, it was really cool to see that. And then got another pod story. I know I'm really off topic here, but so I got an email. Woke up Tuesday morning, got an email from I guess one of our like links or whatever, and it said, "Is that good?" Here, I'll pull it up right now. The email. So I woke up. And I'm like, dude, is this like a prank? Carlos emails me. Hello, how's it going? Hope all is well. I have some cool information that might interest you. Your podcast, Is That Good? Sports Talk with a Couple of Gingers has good performance in Apple podcast rankings. Podcast. Position 10 in the category of sports, Iraq.
Iraq?
Yeah, happy podcasting, Carlos from Pod Status. I was like... wait.
That's not us. It can't be us.
Yeah, it is. We're the only ones that because when you create the RSS feed, you have to it's like a Instagram username. Like it can't be taken. It's 100% us, dude. It's my email and everything.
Yeah, but who's listening to us in Iraq, man? Nobody.
I don't know. What if we're like celebs over there? I mean, I don't know. Maybe they like the two gingers talking sports.
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
How could that even be?
I don't know. If anything, though. 2 cool pod stories.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, bittersweet though. We've told the boys, we're shutting down shop. So
all the boys know.
But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm probably gonna keep it going with interviews, take a little break. But we're gonna be away from home, and just I mean, the season's wrapping up, so we just thought it'd be best if we part ways.
Yeah,
mutually.
No regrets.
It's mutual.
Definitely a good way to spend my time.
On Wednesdays.
Not always a lot you can do out here besides for being on the ice, so it was good.
It was a good run, yeah.
Yeah, good use of my time.
All right, let's get back and on track here, my bad. But I guess that kind of covers our NFL segment. I guess we'll call it actual pod doc. Anyways, let's do the news quick. NFL. The NFL Combine is next week. March 1st to the 7th at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. I always mess that one up. It's kind of a cool event,
Yeah.
Little 40-yard dash. You got the vert. You got the QB throwing. It's kind of cool. I think the 40-yard dash
totally
is
cool,
kind of
yeah.
what everyone looks for.
Is there? I don't really know anyone.
I just know Aiden Hutchinson.
I used to be so into it, and I'd know all the guys coming in.
Yeah.
But I just don't even pay attention.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, so NHL, this is actually kind of a funny one. Sean Avery signed a contract with the Orlando Solar Bears in the ECHL. Sean Avery, like the one, Sean Avery. Mm-hmm. So he's like, he hasn't skated in like 10 years apparently. And he just like put on his skates and like they signed him to like a player contract.
Really?
Yeah, they want him.
That's
I don't know.
crazy.
It's hilarious. Dude, that guy's a clown. Have you seen his Instagram stories?
Yeah, I've seen. He was, who was he ripping?
The bikers.
Yeah.
In New York. He like rips bikers in New York. He like literally like...
Oh, yeah, he hates the bikers.
Yeah.
Anyone on a bicycle.
I know, it's crazy. Yeah, and then NBA, a Kobe Bryant card sold for $2 million. It was like a rare one, but like it's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Think about the kind of money you gotta have to just put $2 million into a
card.
baseball card.
Well, there's collectors.
Basketball card.
Yeah. College basketball, Michigan's Juwan Howard. I don't know if I'm saying the first name right. Suspended rest of the season. He hit the Wisconsin's assistant coach in their game on Sunday. So he got...
punched him?
Yeah, or it said hit. So apparently he got suspended rest of the season, so he'll be out. And then, I don't know, with March Madness, which is coming up, by the way. So we're probably going to cover the beginning of it, obviously, but we'll probably not be able to see the end. Because
we'll get close.
We'll get like halfway.
Maybe not.
Maybe we'll get like first round.
What
64.
We have two more after this.
After this one, yeah. So
we'll get to the.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
And then PGA Tiger, announced at the Genesis Invitational Tournament he's gonna play on the PGA Tour this season.
Really?
Yeah. So pretty cool.
Wow.
And I mean, it's total Tiger. I mean, granted, not granted. It's only like 6 or 7 events, but still pretty cool. I mean, the guy said, we don't even know if he was going to walk a year ago.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yeah. Again, another insane comeback. I think he's the GOAT, man, for sports, to be honest.
The comeback GOAT.
He's the comeback GOAT.
He is. If he pulls this one off and he does well.
Yeah. No, for sure.
You think he will?
I don't know. I think it's more just like farewell tour. Well, and I guess to stay on PGA quick, we'll do our PGA. Just dropped my pen. Segment quick and hit my knee. Ow.
You're all over the place, man.
Just spazzed out. But yeah, so the PGA is having a little drama right now with the Saudi League. It's like, you don't know. Yeah, Vinny's shaking his head. He's like, what?
What's a Saudi?
The Saudi League. Saudi Arabia League or whatever it's called. They're paying guys a new league, like ton of money, and they're like trying to like poach big names from the PGA Tour. So like guys like Phil Mickelson, Bryson, like initially said they weren't against the idea, so it caused a bunch of drama. So I think it's good to have Tiger on the tour because I think it'll make guys kind of stay because that's kind of players have come out. He is the glue guy. Speaking of glue guys,
he's the glue guy.
We gotta give a shout. Happy birthday to
our buddy. He's been on the pod a couple times, Cody Seeley.
You guys probably know him by now, but give him a follow on Insta.
Yeah.
At Cody Seeley. I don't think that's his Insta, but it's like at Seeley19.
You'll find him.
Yeah, just look him up. But yeah, so that's it. Let's do NBA, and then Finn's gonna do a little Olympic recap, and I'm gonna chime in, talk a little hockey. Little chokes from the hockey, but NBA quick.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, the All-Star game last weekend. Curry was the MVP. I mean, dude. Guy had 50 points. He was 16. He had 16 threes. I think he was like 17 for 20 on shooting, which is like unheard of. He was 3 shy of the record in most points in an All-Star game, but he set technically the record for most threes in a game. But, I mean, it was an All-Star game. So yeah, it was really fun to watch. I was watching with Grains on Sunday night, and I want to hear your take, Vin. Like, I feel like All-Star games are kind of getting heat these days. Players don't try. Like, what's your kind of favorite All-Star game of the, I guess, Pro Bowl and like MLB, NHL, NBA?
I don't know. I always just like the NHL because it's a sport like that. I just enjoy. I enjoy more than the
Can
others.
relate to.
Yeah, I can relate to more.
Yeah, because you play.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So it'd have to be that, and then in the NBA, it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's sometimes too much. Like, it's not even actual basketball. Does that make any sense?
Well, like Curry just threw up 16 threes.
And the thing is, they're
From
all
half
like
court.
celebrities. Like, yeah, they're actually, LeBron's a celebrity.
Oh, dude,
Steph's a
LeBron's,
celebrity.
yeah,
Giannis.
Durant.
So it's like, it's kind of weird. Like, hockey players aren't celebrities.
Oh, if they walked around if they walked around,
People don't know.
yeah.
Unless you're McDavid.
Honestly, like, if you ask, like, most people say, like, being an NHL player is, like, low-key the best athlete because you, like, are known but not known, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, a guy
you're
like
known
Crosby.
by the people who, like, you want to know.
Yeah. Like, dude, like, for example, like, a person just not, whatever, up-to-date on sports, just doesn't follow. They'll know who LeBron James is. They will not know who Sidney Crosby is. Or Connor McDavid.
No.
Yeah, no, I thought that this year was good.
That's my take on it.
I like that. Vinny's take. That's our new segment. Vinny's take.
Yeah.
Speaking of takes, have you seen my Snapchat private story? Hot takes.
I have seen it.
What do you think of it?
It's all right. It's a good one.
Yeah, I give hot takes.
Like, some of them you're like, it's controversial, and you're like, oh, controversial topic. But then some
Controversial and not like
I don't know.
not like canceled.
No, I mean like something that people would have. A hot take is something that there's diverse opinions. It's controversial.
But you made it seem like I'm putting up like stupid stuff. No, I'm putting. It's like, for example, like,
of course
I was watching Scooby Doo, unreal movie.
Yeah.
Not the animated one, the real one, Spooky Island. Yeah. I just said, like, example, hot take. Scooby Doo is a top 3 mystery movie of all time.
Which is just.
It had me scared. It had me thinking.
Really?
I was like, who is the mask? Who's underneath the mask?
No, I wouldn't agree with that.
Looked like it was. You know who it was? Scrappy Doo. Do you remember that one?
No.
You're not a Scooby Doo fan?
I don't know. I'm not much of a Scooby Doo guy, but see, that's like a controversial topic.
Yeah, and then another example was like on
but
Sunday.
Some of them are just not good, though.
Yeah, like axe throwing is the most entertaining sport.
Yeah, like that one I was like.
But it's just like, it's kind of more funny just because it's so far of a hot take.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not even a hot take.
Yeah. No, but
just
whatever.
wrong.
I guess I could work on it. But I guess one more thing about Snap. You hear about the username change you can do now? One time?
No.
Yeah, so you know how for a while, like, you couldn't change your username?
Yeah.
So now, like, mine's TragBag71, which is from middle school.
TragBag?
Yeah, it was like a nickname in middle school.
TragBag.
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 Tough one. But so I changed it to
Bagel.
Will.Traeger. You said bagel?
Yeah, because you said bag.
Yeah, everyone chirps me on the team for how I talk, and it really makes me insecure. No, I'm kidding. Just get really deep.
I was just thinking because...
Hacky, bag.
What
else should I say that people are like, just laugh?
Um,
Hockey bag really gets them.
Bag is a good one. Because, like, that's just absurd. It's bag.
You want to go to the rink?
Bag.
No, that's not a good one. That was coffee. Nah.
Sometimes.
I don't know,
man.
It's just kind of, it's just got to play it by. This is another one I have tough with. You got to answer me. So, and this is straight up, I have no clue what it's between.
Okay.
Is it play it by ear or year?
It's play it by ear.
Oh my gosh, I was saying play it by ear.
I used to actually say that.
Okay, that's not as bad as granite or granted.
Ear is like play it by like what you most recently hear. Like, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's constantly changing.
Yeah. Okay,
play
that
it by
makes sense.
year kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it's like...
Hey, I'm getting better. It's not as bad as granted.
It's not.
Granite.
No.
I don't even know where we are. Oh, yeah. NBA All-Star Game. So LeBron and Durant, Team LeBron, Team Durant. Kind of a close finish. LeBron actually hit the game winner to win 163-160.
He did that MJ shot, right?
MJ, yeah, the fadeaway in his hometown. or not hometown, but Cleveland, which is like whenever I think of LeBron, I think of Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
Cleveland,
Definitely.
It was sick too. He did the chalk toss before.
Really?
Yeah. Well, and another thing too, I guess I forgot to mention was the 75th all-time team was there. I don't know if you watched the game. So the top 70, or the 75th anniversary team, all came, and like it was sick. I mean, all the goats like Michael Jordan, Bill Russell, Kareem.
I saw they took a picture.
Shaq. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, and all the players, there was players in the game too that had to, they get a picture. But yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, I guess NBA, that's kind of all I got.
Yeah, I didn't like the dunk contest.
Yeah, the dunk contest was pretty okay. Wasn't the winning one the guy like dunked and then the NFT was his dunk or something? Or that was one of the ones?
I don't even know.
You know, like NFT sometimes are like those.
I literally stopped watching it.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Dude, they gotta, like, the problem is all the, like, big names don't want to do it. Like, dude, back in the day, like, Michael Jordan was, like, winning the dunk contest. Like, Can you imagine if, like, Giannis was in the dunk contest?
Wait, so they choose not to be in it?
It's just, like, a thing they've done. They really just have had very, like, I don't want to call average, but, like, average
because they're not, like, it's not like Russell Westbrook doing the dunk.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what if Giannis or, like, I'm trying to think of a guy in the game that's just, like, like, Ja Morant, dude. Have you seen his...
Why don't they do it? Why don't they do it?
His bounce is insane.
I know.
Yeah.
So why don't they do it?
I don't know. Maybe that's maybe the pod. That's next year NBA. If you're listening, you should submit that. But
it doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't you want to be a part of it?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so I guess
whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of it for NBA. I mean, if you want, we'll do Olympics quick.
Yeah. Oh, Olympics.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay, so we'll just do the medal count. I'll do like top 5 medals for each
country,
or for each whichever.
Just do like the top
5 because of the U.S. We gotta get the U.S. in there. So
didn't have a good performance.
Yeah, I mean 4th isn't bad, but so first place is Norway with 37 total medals, 16 golds. Second place is Germany with 27 total medals, 12 golds. Third place is China, 15 medals, 9 golds. And fourth is the U.S., 25 medals, 8 golds. So the U.S. actually has more medals than China, but I think they count it as the gold medal.
Gold is like...
Your place is like the only thing they count.
Yeah.
And then if it's a tie, it's probably who has more medals.
Mm-hmm. More gold.
No, if it's a tie for gold, it's probably who has more overall medals.
My bad.
And then 5th place, Sweden, 18 medals, 8 golds. And, Netherlands also has 8 golds. But
yeah. My only take from the Olympics, I honestly didn't watch that much. I think the Winter Olympics is overrated. But, I mean, the hockey, Canada and U.S. kind of choked. I mean... Yeah,
big time.
Like, dude, with our lineups, nothing against the teams they lost to.
Big choke.
But yeah, the fact that both those teams didn't medal. Kudos to Finland. Really cool. I think it was their first Olympic gold.
Really?
Who would? Yeah, the final. Russia obviously, but Finland to win gold. You know.
Yeah, that doesn't make
the
any
odds.
sense.
Yeah, they were probably whatever. But yeah, I guess. I don't know. I really want to see NHL back in the Olympics. You know, I think it's cool the college guys got to go. Really cool experience. But I think more people will watch if the NHL goes.
Yeah. It should just be the best of your country. The best.
Yeah, which is the NHL.
Doesn't even matter the age.
Which, Team Canada versus Team USA in the Olympics, everyone would watch. In North America, that's a hockey fan. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the times were weird, too. They were at 11:15 at night. Because it was in China, the time zone.
Yeah,
time
that
difference.
Sucks.
Yeah. But,
that sucks.
Yeah, and then the women's, can't forget the gold medal game was Canada-US. Unfortunately, unfortunately, the US lost. Canada got the gold. But again, I just feel like it wasn't as talked about as the 2018 one. Remember when they won gold, dude?
Yeah.
They didn't even I feel like no one even cares. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of sad because silver's really still good.
Mm-hmm.
But just because they didn't get gold, it's like, all right. But
whatever.
Yeah.
Basically.
I mean, that's kind of the way it is. You kind of got to go gold or nothing here. All right, well, college hockey. Kudos to the women's team, by the way, for getting silver. I mean, that's unreal. Awesome. Like, obviously the men's didn't show up, so.
Got something.
Yeah, but college hockey, really quick, and then we'll wrap up the sports talk here. So rankings, number 1's Michigan, number 2 Mankato, 3 Denver, 4 Western Michigan, and 5 the Gophers are sneaking back in the top 5. So
wow.
Yep, and then I guess game this weekend series I gotta talk about because Gouldy probably knows. BU-BC, Battle of Comm Ave.
Oh, yeah.
So home and away. I'm going to take BC for both. Big games for them. And just such a cool rivalry, historic game. I'm sure the barns will be packed, so I'll probably watch, and that'll be cool. And then, I guess the college season in general is kind of winding down, just like ours. And so conference playoffs are starting, so we'll kind of keep you up to date and kind of going into the tournament. And then lastly, the Hobey Baker, kind of my top 5 candidates for this year. That's kind of winding down the seas. It's Hobey Baker, I think, is in less than a month. So not in order, but first, Nathan Smith. He's got 41 points, 28 games. Number 2, Matty Beniers, 36 and 28, stud, both Olympic guys. Actually, all 5 of these guys were Olympic guys. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
But Devin Levi, goalie, I low-key think he could maybe run away with it just because it's so tight in the other guys,
Mm-hmm.
Goals against 1.55, save percentage 948, which is for college numbers is
948
stupid.
Is
Unreal. 4, Jake Sanderson. He's 24 and 21, but he's got the most points per game, best points per game in the country. So really, he's played less games, but Power has the most. Owen Power 5th. I think he's gonna get it just because of his hype. He's number 1. He's got 26. He's leading the nation for points in D. So those are my top kind of 5 narrowed down. But I mean, really good players not on that list. So that's kind of it for sports talk. I guess just ending. Give a shout to our sponsor again. I mean, I feel like it's not a broken record. It's more just how consistent it is, But so shout out you. You want to give it you?
Shout out you.
You.
I can't go there.
Yeah, I can kind of hit that note. But again, Unreal Wax. Made from beeswax, all natural. I'm looking around the locker room. Guys are using it.
Everyone likes it, low key.
Yeah, and
everyone's using it all the time.
Yeah, so we're looking to do some cool stuff with them. Obviously. Pod kind of winding down, so whatever, but we'll probably continue working with them in terms of the wax and kind of getting kind of being ambassadors for the wax. So I love it. Again, I think it's really just consistent wax. Like I said, I think it's always you're gonna get a great product when you put it on your blade. I think it lasts long. Again, you can just kind of do some really cool and creative tricks with it. It smells good too. I mean, today Birdie was putting it on. I mean, Damer's been using it a ton. He just got MVP of the All-Star game. Is that
Shout out Damer.
Shout out Dames.
Man, that guy's been on fire.
Yeah.
Hat-trick in the All-Star
Just a
game.
goal scorer.
Yeah.
But he had an MVP of the All-Star game. So really cool. Shout out to him. But anyways, I'm smelling, I'm like, wow, what is that? It smells so good. I look over, Birdie's putting some on his blade. So guys are using it.
Everyone loves it.
And you should too because it's you. So check them out at... ustoke.com. YEW, not YOU. But, fun word to say. Also, check them out on TikTok. Some kind of ASMR on the wax.
Great.
So, all right, guys, that's it for episode 18.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoy the interview. 2 more to go.
Adios.
Welcome to today's interview of Is That Good? Today we have UMD hockey player Will Francis. Franny, welcome to the pod.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Yeah, no problem. Again, I know you're super busy, so good to have you on today. Really cool story we're gonna talk about. But before we get into your career, just talk about kind of yourself, where you grew up, and learn to play the game.
Yeah, I'm from Lionel Lakes originally. Moved to Shoreview 4 or 5 years ago. Pretty much same area though. Went to Centennial, played youth hockey at Centennial growing up all the way, and graduated from there in high school. And a little thing for the fans is probably they don't know that me and you have a little relation in the family. My dad and your dad, I believe, are kind of cousins of each other, so it's pretty cool. So yeah, grew up in Centennial and went all the way up there.
Yeah, no, for sure. Again, glad you brought it up. I didn't want to bring it up first, but yeah, it's actually my mom. But yeah, I think our grandpas. It's weird, right? They like my grandpa. So your grandpa's my grandpa's uncle.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, again, cool correlation on the pod today. But yeah, so you grew up in Centennial. Obviously, pretty good hockey program there. Before we jump into kind of, playing at Centennial, kind of describe your game to the listeners. Is there kind of an NHL player you like to kind of strive to play like?
Yeah, I really like to watch Colton Parayko in St. Louis. I kind of think we bring a lot of the same attributes to the game. We're both 6'5", right shot, have some good offensive instincts, and obviously like to play physical and use our bodies to our advantage. So that's one guy in particular that I like to watch a lot.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you mentioned, kind of being a bigger guy and, using your body. But, were you kind of always a tall player, or was there kind of a growth spurt that happened along the way?
I was always, I'd say, bigger for my age group there growing up. Kind of every other year, my first year of Pee-wees and Bantams, I'd be on the shorter end of the stick. And then the second year coming, I'd be with my grade. And kind of be on the taller end for sure, but I'd say for me, going from I think it was 8th to ninth grade or 9th to 10th, either way, I went from about 5'8" to 6'3" in about a span of 12 months. So that was probably the biggest growth spurt for me that really allowed me to grow.
Yeah, no, I could have used one of those for sure. But yeah, whenever I kind of joke, say we're related, they're like, no chance, because you're 6'5", 6'6", and I'm 5'7", so.
Yeah.
Pretty good laughs out of that. But yeah, no, again, you use your height to your advantage for sure, like you said. But let's jump into kind of more your high school. Obviously you grew up in the youth program at Centennial. Kind of moving to high school, was Centennial kind of always the route you were going to go, or are there other schools you were looking at?
I was actually looking a couple other private schools. My mom really wanted me to kind of go to St. Thomas, and I went on a shadow day there, and it just wasn't really the fit for me. Like, I grew up with all these guys from Centennial youth hockey and up, and my dad always built an outdoor rink that we were skating on all winter, and for me it was kind of just I felt at home being at Centennial, and I looked a couple other places, but just didn't quite get the feeling that that's where I wanted to be. So yeah, I had the same pretty much group of friends, 12, 13 of us that were on the same Pee-wee Bantam high school teams. And by the time high school came around for us, oftentimes, especially with kind of the way that our conference is set up, our practices were a little more intense and harder than games in a way. It'd be fighting each other day in, day out, and going then playing our other side of the conference there in the Northwest Suburban, playing like Osseo. And we'd be like, yesterday's practice was more intense than this game, and different stuff like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, we still have Blaine and Maple Grove and Andover, which are all tight, and I'd say all that stuff kind of prepared us to end up winning that section championship and going to the state tournament. So,
yeah,
a lot of fun. We had a tight-knit group, I'd say, and that's really what took us to length, is that all of us were kind of as brothers on and off the ice.
Yeah, no, and you mentioned, you kind of grew up with all those guys, play with them back in, whatever mites. But I think that's kind of one reason why Minnesota high school hockey is so successful is, again, you kind of have, they're like brothers to, the chemistry and stuff. But let's rewind a little bit. Your first year at Centennial, you're a sophomore, is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah, sophomore. So Kind of talk about that transition, kind of throughout that year. That jump from sophomore to junior year was a big one in terms of points and just kind of, again, getting yourself on the map.
Yeah, for sure. And even going back another year to freshman year, I was kind of contemplating between high school and Bantams, and kind of had a good meeting with the head coach. And, I'd say from a comfortability standpoint, our head coach at Centennial was one of our friend's dads, actually, who coached us literally from the time I remember being in second grade, being on the ice with him all the way until high school. And, I had a tough conversation where I'd fit in if I'd made the jump to high school early. And I'd say it benefited me staying back for Bantams that year. I was able just to dominate and kind of just lead all of my buddies in my own grade. But, yeah, going from sophomore to junior year, I'd say for me especially, over the summer I gained a lot of strength, trained pretty hard, and just felt really comfortable going into my junior year. Like, the game just slowed down for me in a way, with that year of experience being bigger, faster, and stronger. And obviously had a pretty good supporting cast around me to bring me some success. So I'd say just the strength overall was what really helped me. I was able to really kind of just down.
Yeah, grow into your body a little bit.
Right, yeah. I was a big, lanky kid. Sophomore year was probably like 6'3", 170, and the next year I was 6'4", 195, and was just able to kind of dictate, basically control a game from the back end in high school hockey there.
Yeah, no, for sure. And, you wore the A that junior year, and you mentioned, you won the section tournament. Like you said, growing up with all those guys, what was that kind of feeling? Again, being from Minnesota, if you go to the X, it's a huge deal, but actually doing it, kind of tell the listeners what that was like.
Yeah, I'd say, well, there's really nothing like it. And I'd say still today, it's probably one of my favorite hockey memories, going there. And then in the quarterfinals, we were the underdog and upset St. Thomas in the 8 o'clock game at a packed Xcel Energy Center, so that was pretty fun.
Yeah, I think I was there, actually. It was pretty rowdy, but yeah, no, that was an upset, right?
Yeah, we were down going into the third, 2-1. We came back and won 3-2. And I'd say, just going to the X and that section championship, it was pretty special for us as a group, and especially having, all those guys. We made state tournaments in Pee Wees and Bantams, but we're never able to get any hardware out of it. And for us to, win that second championship and go down to the X, I think that was something we all really kind of wanted to get at.
Yeah, no, for sure. Probably, obviously playing at Shattuck, never got to experience that, but, from what I've heard, it's unreal. So let's kind of jump more to, obviously junior year for high school hockey players, kind of that senior year. A lot of guys are tempted to leave. For you, was that a tough decision, being kind of a leader on the team, the previous year?
I'd say for me in particular, I kind of knew that junior year that I wanted to obviously have the year I did, which I ended up having. That was my goal from the beginning, and that I wanted to kind of get some recognition and hopefully play that next year in the USHL. I think that was kind of my plan from the beginning. And we had 12 or 13 seniors on that team that went to state in 2018. I was still a junior, so we didn't have a lot coming back, which would just be tough for the next year. And it was kind of, I'd say, an easy decision for me to leave, just from a hockey standpoint, but from a people and maybe friendship standpoint, it's tough. Like, you're leaving all your buddies, you're going somewhere new. What's it going to be like? Kind of all that. But it was an easy decision for me. I wanted to be somewhere where everyone else around me kind of had the same goals and aspirations of playing Division I hockey, and then furthermore pro hockey in the NHL. And so, the overall decision for me to leave for Cedar Rapids was pretty easy.
Yeah, and you mentioned Cedar Rapids. Your senior year there. In the fall of that year, I think it was October, right? 2018.
Yep.
Yeah, you committed to UMD. I know from my grandpa kind of talking to yours, you're talking to other schools, but tell us your decision for UMD. Obviously, unbelievable program, but what was that like for you, the recruiting process?
Yeah, it was pretty interesting, I would say. I had a little bit of recognition from high school, and UMD was one of those schools that reached out. But going into that year in Cedar Rapids, I think I was one of the few guys on our team who had no no commitment yet, which doesn't really matter. I mean, basically everybody in the USHL nowadays is going to Division I school, but at that time for me in Cedar Rapids, I was just looking to find a scholarship to a school and somewhere that obviously wanted to have me. And so yeah, I talked to most of the schools here in Minnesota, and for me, I think UMD ever since I was a young kid, I've always just been drawn to here, and I fit their style, and obviously NCHC is kind of becoming one of the top conference in college hockey, and it's a pretty easy decision for me to pick UMB when they came knocking.
Yeah, no, and like you said, I think NCHC again is kind of that one of the premier conferences for sure. But let's talk about that first year, kind of that jump from more on the ice from high school to juniors. Was that kind of a big jump for you, or overall was it pretty smooth?
Honestly, it was pretty smooth. I think the thing that made it easier for me was, that whole summer I trained hard again. I was getting a little bigger, faster, stronger, kind of skills. Everything's catching up to each other. I'd say 2 years prior, like, I always had really good hands, but I was a longer kid, lanky, and usually my feet weren't always catching up to my hands. And so, yeah, it was good. I think the thing that made it easier was kind of everyone around you was just as good. Whereas high school, if you're the top guy on the team, you're kind of playing with guys who obviously just they're not as good as you, and they don't even have the same kind of aspirations that you do. And so being around a culture where everyone's just as good as each other, and the difference between skill is so small.
Yeah, for sure.
That made it pretty easy, just being able to move the puck around and kind of that whole sort of thing.
Yeah, no, and like you said, that first year for a lot of guys, first 10 games is pretty tough, and but for you that was actually your draft year.
Yep.
So kind of, I guess, talk about the experience talking to NHL teams. Again, for you, not coming out from nowhere, but like you said, kind of just on the radar. That experience must have been pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd say kind of growing up, I was mostly, I'd say for at least the 2000s in Minnesota, people knew who I was, but I was kind of always on that bubble. I never made a national camp or anything like that. It was kind of always the last ones caught from 54s and different stuff like that. And yeah, at the beginning of the year, I didn't have a commitment anywhere. I'd say NHL wasn't even on my radar. Like, obviously in the back of your head, you're always like, yeah, someday I'd love to play in the NHL, but that year, those dreams were kind of coming to reality. So yeah, I had a lot of different interviews that year with teams, and it was kind of interesting and eye-opening for me in particular, with just kind of no expectations. I remember early in October they had those rankings come out, and you see them, and a little surprised, I'd say, at first, just being on there one, and then kind of as high as I was. It was pretty cool to see, and obviously something that's a little eye-opening, and kind of realizing that maybe this could actually happen.
Yeah, and again, it worked out for the best. In 2019, you went 6th round, 163rd overall to the Ducks. Again, that was before COVID, so the drafts are a little more normal. Tell me about kind of that when you saw your name pop up on the board, the feeling you had. Were you with the fam, or just kind of who are you with?
Yeah, it was my whole family, my whole direct family, and then my grandpa and grandma, and one of my dad's close buddies came out, and we went out to Vancouver for the draft, and it was pretty awesome. Sitting there, you hear Cedar Rapids, and then see your name called. It's pretty awesome. And I'd say furthermore on that, there's a couple teams that I kind of thought were really high, and I actually had an interview with Anaheim, I'd say like a week or two before, and I actually didn't think it went well at all. And so when they were picked, I'm kind of sitting there like, kind of sitting in my seat like, yeah, no, let's let this one get by, and then you see your name called, and it was pretty cool. A lot of hugs and smiles, and yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, no, having other guys that have been drafted on the pod, for sure, they kind of say it's always kind of ironic, the teams that really, I guess, think of them as much interest is compared to others, end up picking them. But, obviously they want you for a reason. So,
Right.
pretty cool moment. Let's jump to your second year for juniors, Cedar Rapids. Obviously kind of not the, start you wanted. You tore your meniscus. I remember my grandpa telling me, kind of tell us about that injury and the recovery process there.
Yeah. Yeah, going into that year for sure. I was kind of just prepped, like really just to, dominate play and be ready for college hockey that following year. And we had a really good start as a team. I had a really good start individually as, playing a lot every night, 20 to 30 minutes, kind of playing in every situation. And, was able to really kind of control a game from the back end. And then in practice, I tore my meniscus just working one-on-one with a coach on a power play spot thing after practice, and went in for surgery a week later. So yeah, that was pretty tough, and it was kind of ironic or crazy. Like we had 3 more guys within like a month of my season basically ending. We had kind of 3 guys who are arguably, if you're going to throw anybody on our team on the ice for a power play or a 4-on-4 situation, those are the 4 guys who are going to hop over the boards and get out.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, another one of them was Ben Meehan, who was an LA pick that year. And then
he's at Lowell right now, right?
Yeah, he was at UMass Lowell, and then Justin Rascovian is at Northeastern. He was done for the season, and then Joe Molnar is at St. Cloud and is having actually a pretty good year. And so, yeah, we lost 4 guys like that right away. We even ended up losing both our goalies, Derek Malahi, obviously. And
yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah, it was kind of a crazy year in CR. So, yeah, obviously not the season, I guess, all of us wanted to have going in from the beginning with kind of high hopes. And, we knew that we had a pretty special team and could make a run for the Clarkie, but kind of just ran into a lot of injury trouble.
Yeah, no, for sure. And, what were you saying? I was looking at Elite Prospects, kind of a couple of your rosters on Cedar Rapids. That first year, I'm looking right now, you got some studs. Nathan Smith, he's at Mankato, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on Olympics. Obviously Aiden McDonough. I watched him the other night. They played BC Northeastern. I think he's got 18 tucks right now, right?
Yeah, that kid can shoot the puck. I don't know what he's at, but it won't surprise me if he puts up 20 this year in college hockey, which is pretty good.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that's the coolest thing too about. There's a ton of junior leagues. Everyone's good in their own way, but USHL for sure is the top talent. So playing with guys like that for sure prepares you for college, like you said. But I guess let's kind of move into obviously 2020 was a crazy year for a lot of people. Obviously in March of that year, COVID-19 and the pandemic. But that month as well, you found out you had leukemia. Kind of tell us about how you found out about it and kind of what steps were taken to, getting healthy.
Yeah. Obviously crazy and, news that you could have never predicted or anything like that. But, so after my knee injury, I actually went up to UMD and enrolled a semester early just to kind of get a head start in school and start my rehab process up there. And I got up there in January and was feeling like really good off the ice, doing my rehab. And I was able to lift upper body and stuff like that. And so I kind of noticed in February that I wasn't really able to bench press what I was like benching in January. And so I was thinking maybe I'm just tired, fatigued today, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of just noticed, I was tired a lot. I went into the doctor in late February, just cause I was really sick and had a really bad sore throat, and they took a look at me, and they even were just they're like, yeah, you have a bad sore throat, but you have all this other stuff going on too. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't know, maybe I was tired, kind of this and that. And they said that I had tonsillitis, and so gave me an antibiotic, and the sore throat went completely away, but I was still just tired all the time. Sleeping a lot, didn't have much of an appetite either. That's kind of one of the big things is I'm a big guy, I'm 6'5", 215 pounds. I eat a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
I wasn't really eating as much as I normally did. Anyways, one thing led to the next, and we were on spring break, and I still wasn't able, so that first week I was cleared to skated on Monday and Tuesday, and then I was allowed to go with my dad and a couple of my cousins, my uncles, who my cabin in Lutzen for spring break, and we were just going to snowmobile and kind of take it easy up there. And that's when my dad kind of noticed too. He's like, "You're just really like not eating as much shit as you are. Like your skin tone is really pale and just white." And so we went up to the hospital in Grand Marais, which is like 40 miles from the Canadian border. We're pretty much all the way up in the North Woods, and go to get a mono test. And they kind of did a lot of different stuff. Gave me mono tests, gave me COVID tests, just did a blood lab, see where everything's at. And at first they thought it was COVID because no one knew what it would do yet to people. And they're like, "Don't be bringing this up here." And we were just like,
Yeah, that was right at the start.
"Yeah, why don't we figure out, what's going on here before we start jumping to COVID and all this different stuff."
Yeah.
And so we do all those tests, and the doctor comes back, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes later, kind of starts giving us a little spiel, like, of what they did and this and that, kind of just going on. I'm like, "Look, like, just tell me what's going on here," because he's kind of just shying away from it, I wouldn't say, but more just like, he's kind of just rambling on. He's like, "Well, we ran a blood lab, and, your white blood cell count's at 178,000. And I'm just like, "All right, well, what's a normal count?" He's just like, "Well, 10,000. I'm like, "Okay." I still don't know what that means. Like,
Yeah.
I have the power of 18 people then? He's like, "No, not actually. It's kind of points to all signs of leukemia." I'm like, "Well, I don't know what leukemia is." And so I'm kind of sitting there, just like, and I think, like, obviously, I know now that my dad knew, and like, he's kind of like grabbed my leg. He's like, kind of like to comfort me. I'm just like, "Well, what is that?" And the doctor's like, "Well, it's a form of a blood cancer." I'm just like, "Well, all right."
Oh, jeez.
What do we do from here? And took an ambulance 4 hours down to the cities. Did a couple more tests down in Minneapolis, and started up chemo the following Monday. And that was on a Friday when I was kind of officially diagnosed. So I'd say it was a quick turn of events, unexpected, but coming out on the other side now, and everything's looking up and up.
Yeah, no, for sure. Again, crazy, what happened there. Again, life throws crazy things different ways, but, it sounds like you had a really good mindset through that. I remember, my grandpa even telling me, like Bobby Orr and Guy Lafleur called you. Is that right?
Yeah, there's some awesome phone calls. A few of them were just sitting in my room, kind of on those dark days. And yeah, it's cool. Bobby Orr, obviously best defenseman ever to play in the NHL. I heard from Brett Hall, who's a fellow UMD alum, and kind of the guy who set all that up was Tom Curvers, who won the Hobey Baker when he was here at UMD. I believe he was in '84, and he actually just recently passed away from a form of lung cancer. But yeah, he kind of set all that up, and that's something he obviously didn't have to do, but he was the type of guy who would just go out of his way for other people and hopefully lift them up. So yeah, I got a lot of awesome phone calls from former NHLers and guys that are going through stuff like that too.
Yeah, no, that's awesome to have that support. I guess obviously again, it's got to be really tough times, and kind of that part, with COVID and obviously what you were dealing with. Kind of talk about some of the mental tools you use to stay positive through that kind of turbulent time of your life.
Yeah, I'd say for me in particular, I remember I was in contact actually with Anaheim's head coach. His name is Dallas Eakin, and he was just sending me some different kind of motivational videos with Jocko Willink and David Goggins, and I remember those. At first, I'm like these guys are really, these guys are hard guys.
Oh, David Goggins, I've read his book.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
Yeah, those guys, they really take it to a whole nother level. But I'd say for me in particular, I remember just kind of living every day the best I could for what I was dealing with in that particular day. I was in the hospital for the first 20 some odd days, and then I was able to go home. But yeah, I'd say, for me, it's just a positive mindset. I think one thing that actually helped in particular too is when I was there, the nurses are like, "What are your buddies doing?" I'm just like, I don't know. They're all at home. Everyone's locked up. I'm just well, I wasn't missing out on anything that they were doing at all. And
yeah.
I was able to, get out kind of, we were in COVID times too, just like go on bike rides and rollerblade and fish a little bit and kind of just get my mind away from things. But yeah, I'd say just kind of living it day in, day out and not really letting anything go to waste was kind of my biggest thing.
Yeah, no, and then, obviously, talking to you before, in January of 2021, you were cleared to play again. Kind of describe that feeling when the doctor said, you were cleared and you're kind of coming out on the other side of this.
Yeah, so in July of 20, I was officially cancer-free. And then in December 24th, I kind of ended like the main treatment, which really kind of took, I'd say, a toll on me compared to what I'm doing now. I still had a year and a half after that of just taking a pill at night and then going in once a month just for checkups and IV chemo, which I'm going through now and kind of doesn't really have an effect, I'd say, on me compared to what I was going through obviously before. More just kind of just the time that it takes to go in and do all that. That's kind of where I'll miss practice or something like that just because I have to go to those appointments obviously. But
yeah,
so then in December I was officially kind of done with the main treatment. I was able to get the port out that they use for all of the chemo IVs, and then I was obviously able to kind of go into contact again, but I was still able to skate and just try to do what I could in that time that I was still going through harder treatment. I just wasn't able to obviously hit anybody or have any contact, but was able to work on my skills and just try to keep any strength that I really could. But yeah, obviously in January, that's kind of when things turned around. I noticed like in those first 3 months for me, I was able to finally kind of get my feet back under me. Was able to kind of get my weight back, get my strength back and muscle. I went from being 6'5" and 210, 215 pounds to being about 170, I think was the worst it got. So, obviously you're losing a lot of muscle.
Yeah, geez, that's crazy.
You're going down 40 pounds like that. And so, I was able to gain that back over time. I'm back at 215 now, and I'd say overall my body kind of feels like it did before. But yeah, I was able to start skating again in January and hitting things hard, and I was able to come to Duluth then in August, just 7 months after. So yeah, it was a good turnaround.
Yeah, no, and that's, unreal story again, the adversity you went through. And, again, like you said, talking before, you're going to ring the bell in July. Kind of what, obviously got a couple months to go, but kind of what's that feeling going to be like, all the, kind of from the start and just kind of what you had to go through all the adversity and stuff.
Yeah, it'll be obviously really special. We're going to have a big little party at the lake. We'll make sure to throw you an invite for that, I'm sure. Our parents
for sure.
And there'll be some family there. But, yeah, we're only, what do we have left here? March, April, May, June, and then done July 9th. So 4 months left. It's lights at the end of the tunnel. And, it'll just be done to be done with all that, right?
Yeah.
Like, obviously I'm still going in for appointments, and my doctor up here is a really nice guy. He's a huge beauty, actually. And he kind of, every time, I'm coming in, I'm just like, he's like, how are things going? I'm like, well, good. I'm playing here and there, but not an every night regular guy right now. And he's just like, it's amazing that you're playing, like, regardless right now. And he's like, and once you're off treatment, like, you're going to be a completely different person. He's like, he kind of tells my roommate that too, and he's just like, how does he like hold up at practice and all that stuff? It's like we would never guess that there's anything going on like that this would never be going on. Obviously we know like he's coming back, and like coming from August to now, it's night and day difference of how much better he's gotten. Just with time, obviously, like players get better, but me in particular, coming off treatment and everything.
Oh yeah.
I'll really get my kind of whole game back, not right away, but that just comes with time. And so yeah, just the fact that I've been able to play games this year and kind of compete the way I have day in day out with our team is pretty remarkable. And next year is kind of going to be a whole different story, being completely off treatment,
Yeah, no, and again, it's an amazing story. Again, I mean, obviously, with the cancer, but even before that, your knee surgery. I mean, just like all the stuff you've had to go through, and again, you're playing, at that highest level and competing against the top talent, and for what you've had to go through. So, pretty impressive. Kind of kudos to you there. But let's kind of move. I guess. Not move, but like you touched on playing at UMD this year. Like you said, you're kind of in and out. But kind of talk about that transition for college hockey. Kind of just playing again against schools like North Dakota, St. Cloud. These top schools.
Yeah, it's fast hockey. I mean, it's probably. I'd say the jump between high school and USHL is obviously bigger than USHL to college. But yeah, it's guys from our locker room step right into the NHL, right? So practices are intense every day. I think the way that our coaching staff does it up here is probably the best in college hockey. Just the way that we go in day out about our business and our practices and our routines here. And yeah, obviously, like you said, we're going against those North Dakotas, the Denvers, the St. Clouds. The second half of the year. We really haven't had an easy weekend, especially in our conference. We went St. Cloud twice, North Dakota last weekend, Denver, Western Michigan. All these teams are top 10 in the country for a reason. We're having the playoff push start here. We have a really big weekend in Miami. That will kind of dictate for us whether we end up with home ice or not. So it's kind of big for us. I just I just love it up here. The area, the hockey, it's all great.
Yeah, no. I played juniors up in the wilderness last year, so kind of Cloquet and Duluth are a lot different. But yeah, Duluth's a great area. Again, like you said, you got kind of top end talent on your team. We had Kaiser on. I think it was like episode 6 or whatever, but kind of describe again. You kind of touched on it, but playing with guys, of that caliber and yourself,
Yeah, obviously it's I'd say a lot of times our practices are just almost intense as games. We got a number of guys who are NHL draft picks. We got guys on our team who aren't NHL draft picks that are going to find NHL deals. And like I said, there's going to be guys that just step right into the NHL from our locker room and maybe spend some time in the AHL, but they'll end up being there. And, it's a lot of fun going against those guys every day. And almost makes it easier, when we're playing whatever it is in practice, being able to move the puck to guys like that. That these guys can all think and move the puck and skate. So it makes just playing the game pretty easy. But obviously, when we start getting some battle stuff, it'll get intense between everybody. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Kind of before we move away from hockey, is there? I guess at UMD, have you picked your major yet, or?
Yeah, I'm double majoring in computer science and communications. So that'll give me some work to do away from the rink.
For sure, yeah. No, speaking away from the rink, I know I've seen on like stories or whatever that you're a big golfer. So you kind of talk about your golf game. You got like a PGA comparison or something.
Yeah. Honestly, probably closer to a poor man's Bryson DeChambeau. I'm a big guy, can crush the ball pretty far. We got to work on the green game a little bit.
The short game.
Yeah, we gotta work. Just getting up to the green. Once I'm on, we're pretty good. But yeah, that short game, chipping on and putting the ball in different places, probably what we got to work on. I'd say that's probably the comparison of poor man's DeChambeau. Yeah,
no, for sure. Yeah, I'm the opposite. Kind of smaller guy. I just hit those, like 260. Buttercut right in the fairway. But our grandpas. I played with your grandpa. I mean, they both got game for their age for sure. So.
Yeah, he's still kicking it. He's actually down in Florida right now, and I know that he's still playing a little bit here and there down there. So, yeah, I try to actually. That's probably between who I play with in the summer, other than my buddies my age, probably play with that guy the most. So.
Yeah, no, we got to get a little match going this summer.
Yeah, we'll get some 2-on-2.
For sure. Yeah, no, that'll be fun. But yeah, no, let's kind of, wrap it up here. And we kind of always end, with our guests. We do a segment. So me and my buddies are both gingers. Or me and my buddy that run it. So we call it Fire Crotch. So it's like a 10-question segment. So we always say it's rapid fire. It's not. It's just kind of like, kind of shoot the shit questions. But yeah, so let's get that going and then we'll kind of wrap it up here. But yeah, so first question, Fire Crotch, favorite song?
Ooh. I'd say, so right now, it probably switches here and there. So for some weird reason, I kind of find myself just kind of playing a song every time I get in the car. And right now it's Dixie Landlight. So.
Oh, nice.
It's a good country song.
You a country guy?
I'd say, yeah, kind of more like a country rock guy, but over rap, probably for sure.
Yeah, for sure. All right, kind of sticking with music. Who's got aux in the room?
It's switching around lately. Kobe Bender had it for a while, and Luke Milmock has it now. Me and him are probably the two guys on the team that kind of like country the most and that sort of thing. And yeah, I'm liking the vibes right now. I actually had the aux when we were in Mankato, and people are trying to say like that was some of the best aux we've had. I don't know if I agree with that totally. We had some good alternative rock, but
yeah, you heard it first on the pod. Franny's the aux in the room. But
yeah, could jump on the aux a little more next year. I've been on there a couple of times, but yeah, Luke Milmock's running it right now. Money.
All right, let's do dream athlete.
Ooh, like who I could be?
Yeah.
It'd be pretty cool to be Michael Jordan, man. Everyone knows who that is, and I think he's living pretty well.
Yeah, no, he's sick. I thought you were gonna say Tiger, but yeah, MJ, Tiger, both goats. All right, kind of similar but different question. If you didn't play hockey, what sport would you want to do professionally?
So this is gonna be a really weird answer, but I would be an NFL punter. The best job in the world, because all you have to do is go kick a ball 16 weeks out of the year, and if you shank it or anything, no one really cares because they're already pissed that the offense went 3-and-out and now you have to punt.
Yeah, no, that I agree. It is the easiest job, or not easiest, but it's the life. All right, favorite away barn that you've played in?
Gotta be North Dakota.
Yeah, unreal. The Ralph. All right. Favorite food?
Big Chipotle guy.
Chipotle, nice. I haven't heard that one before, but yeah. No, Chipotle's money for sure. All right, celebrity crush.
Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, that's a good one. Like Friends, Jennifer Aniston, like that era.
I'd say maybe even like just go with it, Jennifer Aniston.
Nice, yeah, no money. All right, let's do favorite movie.
Miracle.
Yeah, classic. That's probably the most
Classic. I watch it quite a bit too. Just it's easy.
Yeah. All right.
Again.
Yeah. TikTok or Instagram?
Instagram. I don't even have a TikTok. Something I pride myself with.
Yeah, no, I think it's stupid. All right. Let's see. Which one should we do last here? All right. Favorite. It's kind of stupid. I mean, I assume you're a Wild guy. I'll do favorite player on the Vikings.
Oh, honestly, this past couple of years, I haven't even followed NFL football that much. But I have Thielen on my fantasy team, so we'll go with Adam Thielen.
Yeah, I'm more of a Jetta guy, but yeah, those two are lethal. All right, yeah, that wraps up Fire Crotch and also our interview with Will Francis of the UMD hockey team. Again, Franny, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. That was awesome.
Yeah, thanks for sharing your story. It was really cool. I'll talk to you later.
Sounds good. See you, buddy.
See ya.